I think at one point internally, from what I can understand from talking to different developers, is that there was some sort of mid-generation Switch update planned at one point, and that is seems to no longer be happening.
Oh yes, 'tis time to talk about the Super Nintendo Switch again. You know how it is. Whenever something like this goes down, I gotta talk about Super Nintendo Switch. So of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/RSMario128. You know what I'm saying? Follow my second channel, the Lootbox Hero, as well as drop a comment down below to help the channel grow. Let's get into what Digital Foundry is talking about when it comes to the next Nintendo console.
I think at one point internally, from what I can understand from talking to different developers, is that there was some sort of mid-generation Switch update planned at one point, and that is seems to no longer be happening. And thus, it's pretty clear that whatever they do next is going to be the actual next generation hardware. I don't think it's going to be 2023. And I think Nintendo itself is probably likely very nervous about this transition because let's face it, their last few transitions have not gone well. GameCube was a flop, and then they had the Wii, which is a huge success. But then they tried to do the Wii U, and it was a miserable failure. And now they have a success again. How do you make that transition while keeping that audience happy and make it exciting again? Like, there's a risk that if they just do more Switch, like enhanced Switch, it won't necessarily get that same buzz. But if they go too far from the concept, they can alienate their fans again. I think they need to ensure that Switch games work on whatever comes next. It has to have backwards compatibility. That's not even a given at this point, but I would hope so. There's just so many decisions to make, including just something as simple as the name. Like, what the?
So basically, I kind of agree with most of what dude said. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've kind of had been in this mind space about as far as like the next console not being a Switch Pro. I've kind of been in that mind space for a while now. That's why I kind of, like the term Super Nintendo Switch, because the Nintendo Switch is kind of like the Nintendo Entertainment System, like the NES, and the Super Nintendo Switch, you know what I'm saying, is kind of like the SNES or the Super Nintendo system. It doesn't like, oh, it's not like an add-on or an extra powered Switch. It's the next Switch. Just like the SNES was the next NES. I think it works better that way. Not to mention, as far as Nintendo goes, they don't need an incremental update. Like, we don't need another Switch. We need a brand new next generation of the Switch. So, because a Switch Pro is really just an incremental update. And we don't really need one. Like, maybe the PS5 or the Xbox Series S, like, maybe those need incremental updates. But the Switch has been out for so long now that it needs a brand new system. Like, the Switch's chips, the chips in the Switch have been out since 2015. Okay, all right, those chips are what, 7? They're what, 7, 8 years old now. It's time to upgrade. It's time to upgrade, man. Like, they said that Hogwarts Legacy was coming out on the Switch. I want to see Hogwarts Legacy on the Switch. I want to see what happens when you hop on the hippogriff and your CPU just goes. Your CPU starts fighting for its life because you just hopped on the hippogriff and started flying. Again, this is not like me hating the Switch. I love the Switch. Switch is one of my most favorite game consoles right now. But we need a new console. You know what I'm saying? We need one. Alright, I mean, look at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Like, yeah, I'll admit, like, Game Freak really did kind of rush that out the door. They probably could have waited a year on Scarlet and Violet. But I guarantee you that it wouldn't have been as bad if Scarlet and Violet dropped on better hardware. I mean, you can even go back to Legends Arceus. Legends Arceus even had problems running on the Switch. Cause again, it's old hardware. How you want Game Freak to make a Pokemon game It's got 1,000+ monsters in it, and you want it to be in an open world. You want that open world to look good. You want that open world to perform well. You know what I'm saying? You want there to be other things in the open world. You want there to be towns. You want there to be little cities. You know, you want there to be little things to do when you're going from point A to point B. You want all this stuff, yet you don't want better tech. You need better tech for that. Alright, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as more on why I think that we were going to get one, I think that they were going to do a Switch Pro, but I think COVID might have killed it. I think it might have been like a casualty of COVID because, I mean, not only would the logistics of releasing a system during COVID have been a nightmare, you also had like COVID, the COVID time, that was like the peak era of like, of, what do you call them, scalpers. Like, it would have been scalped immediately. Look what happened with the OLED. The OLED got scalped like immediately. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that would have happened. The chip shortage is a thing. All right, the chip shortage is totally a thing that matters in this aspect. Like, I mean, because again, you have to get those chips. You know what I'm saying? And if like the manufacturing in China is shut down because of zero COVID policy, and distributors are shut down because of COVID in their own countries, and it's just a nightmare to try to release a console in that element. So they were like, okay, well, we'll skip that and we'll just go straight to the next gen. You know, I think this is a perfect idea. I mean, and so then the guy says like, oh well, it's not gonna come out in 2023, which is entirely possible. But I do think that we will get an announcement in 2023. Alright, I think they're going to say something next year. Alright, if they don't say something like winter, like, you know, because allegedly we're probably gonna get a direct like February, March. So if they say something around that time period, then we might get it this year. If they wait till E3, then we might get it like early next year. But honestly, I think 2023 is like one of the best times to drop it, is because if you wait till 2024, then Nintendo's gonna be in the area where we'll start hearing rumblings from Sony and Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? Because I've already seen rumors. I've already heard about rumors of there being a PlayStation 5 Pro or a PlayStation 5 Slim or something to that description, or another. I think Microsoft is gonna go the opposite route, and they're gonna go with a Fire Stick type of console that you can just kind of plug into anything. They're gonna go with that, you know. But there's something else coming out of Microsoft, and so more than likely, if that is happening, that's gonna happen in 2024. So I would think Nintendo does not want to be stuck dropping a console when everybody else is dropping consoles. 2023 would be the best bet. Not only that, was if they drop it in 2023, they have a guaranteed best launch title ever in Face Riders 2. Okay. okay, I'm kidding. But they have a guaranteed best launch title ever in Breath of the Wild 2. Like, I mean, because that's what everybody believes all these delays are for anyway. Same thing happened to the original Breath of the Wild. It was going to come out on the Wii U, but also launching with the Switch. Like, they've been delaying this so that it can launch on the next system. That's what everybody is thinking. And so their best bet is to just do that. Just launch it on the next console. You know, have it come out on the Switch so that everybody who currently has a Switch can get the game, but have a up-resed version launch on the next console, or the Super Nintendo Switch, so they can get that. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, that's it. You know, everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a day one person on the new console, you get to play Twilight Princess on there. I mean, you can play, well, you can technically play Twilight Princess on there because it should be backwards compatible to the Switch. But you can play Breath of the Wild 2 on it, you know, and that will be perfect, you know. But yeah, I think this is going to be great. All right, I really hope that this is true. I think it probably is true, mainly because, I mean, just look at what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Nintendo, like, needs a new console. So tell me what you think down in the comments. If you're saying, Mario, You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you tripping. Nintendo don't need no new console. You know, if you one of those like goofy people that are like, oh, the Steam Deck is the new Switch. Go ahead and drop that in the comments so I can clown you. I will give you the pen of shame. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, drop it in the comments. Go ahead, go for it, bro. Drop it. Drop it in the comments. I'm gonna clown you. I guarantee it. I will hurt your feelings, bro. But but that's about it for this. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that stuff that all that stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me over at YouTube on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/RSMario128, as well as on my secondary YouTube channel, The Loot Box Hero. Join the wave. Get you a loot box today. And as always, people, keep it real.